and coming on the air. And so we got Randy. Randy, oh, that's not me. That's Randy. Oh, is it me? No, that's Randy. So is it me? So we'll take his name down and we'll do that and we'll do that and we'll do that. And I'm going back and forth from camera to camera. And the interesting thing about Randy is the fact that he kind of looks like me. How are you, sir?
Doing fantastic.
I guess I'll turn your mic on. How are you, sir?
Fantastic.
He's okay on audio and everything? Good. Put my headphones on. Randy is the president. Turn this thing down here because it sounds terrible. There we go. Randy is the president and CEO of RLM Communications Incorporated, and it is a business that you started some time ago after you got out of the military. And he's a retired command sergeant major or a sergeant major?
I was acting sergeant major.
Acting
when I retired.
Now he just said 50th. That would be the 50th Signal Battalion, which I was a part of 35th Signal Brigade. So this story just gets uncanny because the two of us are familiar. And Judge King, I'm gonna bring you up. Tell us how you know Randy.
Well, many years ago, I was a young lawyer trying to strike out on my own into private practice. And I needed phone systems and IT stuff all wired, and I did not have the funds to do that. And I knew Mr. Graves, who works with Randy, and they both came and they wired my entire office and then gave me an invoice that says $0 owed. It was a gift as they were supporting my desire to go into private practice as a young lawyer.
You know, the thing about Randy is they may not know his face. I wish they would call me, hey, aren't you Randy Moore? They don't know. They don't do that. This man has been extremely successful in building that business that you have in Spring Lake. And I wanted to interview you at the time back in the early 90s, I guess, so late 80s. When did you get out?
2000.
2000. And you started building that business off of which highways? I know it's Marvin Lucas Drive that goes into your place. What's the road there that the business is on?
It's off of, it's Marvin Lucas, but it's Manchester Road.
Manchester Road, yes. Well, tell us about your business and what you do, what you've done over all these, because right now you're in the process of giving it all up and going to hit some golf balls or something.
Well, so to give you a little bit of the background, when I retired, I worked for British Aerospace Engineering. And then I was with them for about 3.5 years, and then I started RLM Communications in 2004. And, from that point, we continuously grew. I did a lot of work in the special operations and a lot of different type of activity in Washington, D.C. A lot of it was classified. So when I met you, that was one of the reasons why we could not do the interview.
Yeah, you told me you wanted to do it, but you didn't. But I can tell you this interview that you're doing right now is one of the last you're going to do, I'm told.
Oh, absolutely. You get the last one, Gilbert.
Yeah, and over the years, besides what you've done with Judge King in terms of providing some financial support for her, you've done that type of stuff for a lot of folks without a lot of fanfare. Well, what's in your heart when you do stuff like that?
Well, really, it's just my mother looking down on me and all the things that she taught me about people that may be in a position where financially they need to get something done. And you're in a position, Randy, to help them. And so, we do that quite a bit, but our blessings have come back 100-fold.
Yeah, I was looking at your resume and some of the other things that you've been doing. Again, in case you don't realize this, again, if you're just tuning in, Randy and I kind of look alike. And over the years, you've had people think that you were me.
Yes.
In some place, you get any free meals or anything, or just
not yet?
No free.
probably after they do.
After they will. Okay, at least they'll be on the lookout. But more importantly than that, it's just the fact that in looking at your resume, some of the things that you've done, Washington Technology Fast 500, Black Enterprise Top 100 Businesses. You've employed a lot of folks over the year. Give us an idea of how big your operation was up in Spring Lake.
Our biggest number, we got up to 222 folks on the team in about 10 different states, and we had folks overseas working on behalf of the government.
And I was reading in your resume you're providing communication services secured for a number of different branches of the military and foreign countries. Give us a little background on that, as much as you can share.
Oh, absolutely. We've worked with all services. Most of our projects have been classified projects. My last official project was putting together a package for the White House up in the mountains. Mount Weather, that's sort of like the relocation place where everybody in Washington goes to in the event of a national emergency. So in those environments, I spent a lot of time in Joint Special Operations. So I had a lot of contacts with various services, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines. And so that's really a lot of my background.
And then take us back to your military training, because you did stuff with special operations. We were both Army Rangers. You did a lot of stuff, and you were telling me when you go into one of those Ranger things, if you're not associated with the tab, people don't want you there.
Oh, absolutely. Excuse me. That's sort of the defining factor in those type of organizations. I spent actually 4 years in the Ranger Regiment, and as you well know, there's not a lot of minorities in some of those special operation organizations, but it just gives you another level of challenge. And once you go to Ranger School and you get that tab and you start getting those other qualifications, the respect just comes along with it.
We were talking yesterday about the fact that the congressional delegation would come down, and you had to brief some of those guys. Talk about that experience, because that was pretty unique.
Yes, sir. I had one of the largest briefings. You have to commit the briefing to memory, and people from Washington would come down. And at that time, they were sorting out the budget for special operations. So you have to do demonstrations and sort of show them what the capabilities are. And so I was a part of that team. I briefed the assault command post package. So very interesting in those days. I saw a lot of new technology and other things that I think most service members aren't privy to.
Over the course of years of serving, you've seen the change in technology. Artificial intelligence is coming in now, and it's always been, what'd you say, one shot?
One kill.
And that's how we live, one shot, one kill. But in any situation, even in the olden days, if you can be seen, you can be killed on the battlefield. But now the technology is such that the satellites out there, there's a lot of things that can go wrong on a battlefield. And we really got to keep up with the technology. Are you impressed with what's happening with drones and satellites and things like that?
Oh, absolutely. I got a chance to see a lot of that, whether it be AI or quantum computing and quantum theory. All that at some point overlaps. Artificial intelligence is going to be the wave of the future, and I think a lot of folks that are getting educated, they need to add that into their curriculum.
Judge King, now that you we were all in the lobby, you didn't realize that's who he was, and now
20 years.
Yeah, did you know all this about his background as well?
Yes. Well, not everything, but certainly when they first opened up RLM, because of Mr. Graves and his conversations with me about who Randy was, and then, like I said, when they came in and upfitted my office, and as he said, he had the means, but when he did my office, it was in 2004, so that was when he first opened, and he still was giving, and so yeah, definitely appreciative.
Well, he's like a brother to me, because we're kind of similar. The more we talk, the more we see we're kind of alike in terms of what we do and what our philosophy is about success. You were talking about nobody was going to outwork you. Talk about that a little bit, because you don't have to have a master's or PhD or whatever. Talk about your work ethic.
Well, I had a two-year degree in liberal arts, and I've always had good, strong work ethic. I think just the fact that I volunteered to become Army Ranger and survived all that just sort of gave me an idea of which direction I wanted to go. I've always liked the hard challenges. In RLM Communications, we used to joke about that we only wanted wicked problems. We wanted to solve some of the problems that nobody could figure out. And so that's kind of always been my life in terms of what I like to do and the type of challenges I like to take on.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Trevor, this Ranger right here did not put the microphone in, and so I'm going to redub this so we make sure we have good audio. So make sure you make this as a podcast. so that I can put the audio in, because right now people really are not hearing you like you should. I've had a lot of folks come in this morning, and I was unable to make this go. You may be picked up by the ambient mic here on this computer, but anything you said this morning, Trevor, nobody's heard you at all. So just keep shaking your head. Okay, Randy, what's next for you now? Now that you're hanging it up, you're selling the business. What's going to happen for you?
Well, my ultimate goal is to go down to Louisiana, place where my mom grew up, Houma, Louisiana. On the street that she grew up on, my cousin owns a couple of lots there. So I'm going to buy those from him. I'm going to build a community center for underprivileged and poor kids. And then 2 years later, I'm going to turn that over to the church that my mom and them went to, which is a Catholic church right down the street from where they grew up.
Now, so are you going to relocate, or because you have homes here, are you going to come back here? You're going to stay down there?
No, I'll stay here, and I'll just work, from here. My cousin down there is a police chief, so that's going to make my life a little bit easier as I negotiate and navigate all the things that are required.
You know, we were sitting up in your office yesterday, and you asked me, what would you have done differently if you had to change something? And I really come up with a good answer. So let me ask you that question. If you had to change anything, what would you change to make things better or go a different direction?
I'm not sure that I would change anything. I think our paths are already designed, they're laid out for us. And I think as I move into the retirement phase of life, you'll find that I'll spend a lot more time with charities and youth groups and stuff like that.
Well, let me tell you youngins, both of you, that there's retirement isn't what it really is. I retired from Channel 11 in 2011, and about 6 months later, I spent about $50,000 and bought cameras and a green screen, and I started doing the Gilbert Bridge report from my house and attic, because the energy that we have in what we do is not gone just because they say you're retired. And like I say, I'm 70 right now, and I don't feel 70, whatever that's supposed to be. The same thing will be true for you. But you mentioned, Randy, that you're talking about doing some other things with community work, and that'll happen, because once you do all the honeydew list, and I know your wife has y'all moving some furniture around, doing all that kind of stuff. Once you finish with all the honeydews, then you start twiddling your thumbs. You're saying, well, what am I going to do now? So there's got to be a plan beyond retirement. And I think your body requires that, because if not, health things. I always tell people that those who retire end up on the death triangle: the couch, the TV, the bed. The couch, the kitchen, the bed. Couch. So you watch TV, you go get some meat, you go to bed. So Randy, I know you're going to be doing much more than that. We appreciate you coming out here and being the twin that you are, and being a good sport to wear your WFNC shirt. I wish Tish and the staff was here, because I would send you down there just to say, good morning, I'm going to do something, and just see what their response is, because they probably would think that you're me. All right. You want to say anything? How's your wife doing? She's doing okay?
She's doing fantastic.
Yes. Y'all going to come to karaoke again at some point?
Oh, yes.
All right. All right, we appreciate it. All right, hey, right now you're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast with Rachel Dunsing.
I'd like to have a young man call you, number one on mentorship, but also still to maybe talk with you when you get settled, to come do some
Thursday is
stuff
going
with
to
the
be a
youth groups.
cloudy and rainy day.
That would be
We'll have
awesome.
60.
Go get a piece of
A
paper.
cold front is going to bring us the rain Thursday as well as part of Friday.
If I can pass
Cooler
your number to
temperatures
them,
are
and
up
then I'll
as
still
well. This weekend,
contact
though,
you, come out,
it'll be nice with
see what we can do.
60s and 70s. That is your favorite forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel
Thank you,
Dunsing.
Gilbert. I appreciate it, as always.
Rachel, thank you. 45 degrees, Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and Spring Lake. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.